We start here first tonight with a developing story out of southern Indiana. A man was released from jail after police believe he was framed for murder. It's the top story right here tonight on the WHAS 11 night team. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt. Back on April 14th, police in Hanover, Indiana, not far from Louisville, found 35-year-old Wilma Robertson stabbed to death inside her home. Police arrested a Louisville man at the time and charged him with murder. But on Friday, he was released after investigators found he didn't do it. Police say it was this man, 34-year-old Nigel Thomas, who created an elaborate scheme to frame the other man, even creating social media profiles for that other man and pretending to confess to the murder. New evidence, including DNA analysis, was used to dismiss the charges against the original suspect. Thomas was arrested in Ohio and is now awaiting extradition back to the state of Indiana. Also new tonight on the night team, kids will now need a chaperone if they want to attend the festival on the waterfront. Specifically, we're talking about the Chow Wagon. This is a new policy change after the Kentucky Derby Festival reports cases of violence among unaccompanied minors just over the weekend. Police said about 100 to 150 minors were yelling, running, taunting other groups, and climbing over fences to avoid entrance procedures last night. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says 4 young people were detained Sunday night. One of them was arrested and charged with assaulting a police officer. Kentucky Derby Festival's Amy Boyd talked to us tonight saying they've seen this get worse in recent years.
Like, you can't have the adult drop you off. They actually have to come here and come into the venue with you and stay with you. And if you were to drop off or anything like that, that's against the policy. So we're hoping nobody does that. We're hoping everybody cooperates because we want everybody to be able to attend our events and enjoy them.
The problems last night forced KDF to close the Chow Wagon early last night. Now minors must have somebody aged 21 years or older with them. One adult can chaperone up to 6 kids, and they will check IDs right at the gate. A woman was arrested today, charged in the shooting that happened on busy Baxter Avenue and Bardstown Road right in the Highlands. Lanisha Blakely is accused of shooting Brian Johnson in the leg on Bardstown Road. This is the intersection of Baxter and Bardstown Road, Baxter Avenue and Bardstown Road. Police detectives found that he drove a little ways down the street before hitting another car. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The woman in the other car was not seriously hurt. Blakely is also accused of assaulting another person in the same area. She is now charged with assault and murder. Holding signs, car horns also honking tonight in the Poplar Level neighborhood today in support of Creason Park. That 59-year-old Metro Louisville park sits right between the Louisville Zoo and the Louisville Nature Center on Trevelyan Way. Well, now there's a battle underway between nature and pickleball. In fact, it's a multi-million-dollar project looking to build a tennis and pickleball complex there. Residents are vocalizing their opposition tonight. WHAS 11 night team's Alex Dederer and photojournalist Levi Hammer are talking with the frustrated neighbors and hearing from the man behind this project.
The sights and sounds of Creason Park on a sunny afternoon. Now filled with honking and pleas, the sounds of opposition of a proposed $65 million tennis and pickleball complex development at the park, which sits across from the Louisville Zoo.
We value parks, that they mean something to us, and this isn't just a throwaway space for developers and investors.
Lee Coley, one of the founding members of the Save Creason Park movement. The 41-acre Metro Louisville Park since 1966 is also part of the Beargrass Creek State Nature Preserve.
We're going to have a sunset, and it's going to shine beautifully on the park. When it rains, there's a rainbow that you cannot even imagine that spans the entire sky. It's great.
Houses in her neighborhood lined with signs, nature over nets. Mr. Mayor, please don't take my park.
I like to run around and walk in this park.
This one is learning to ride a bike in this park right here, where they want to put a building.
This is the proposed project by Kentucky Tennis and Pickleball Center. 36 tennis courts, 18 pickleball courts, new parking lots, and a restaurant. Just some of the developments in the 25-acre project.
I've been playing tennis since I was a little kid. Always have loved the sport.
Kentucky Tennis and Pickleball Center CEO Will Davis.
Louisville has always had a rich history in tennis and racket sports, and it's about just trying to help grow that in the community.
We asked Davis to address some of the concerns raised by the Save Joe Creason Park movement, like traffic congestion risks. Davis says the nonprofit did an initial traffic study and then another after input from the park's neighbor, the Louisville Zoo.
It has zero marginal effect on the traffic flow of what it currently is.
Neighbors of Joe Creason Park say that they're for the revitalization of the park. What they're against is taking away the green space.
Opening the door for a public park to have a massive private development on it, and it's not a can of worms that I want to open in my city.
Davis says while the project is for 25 acres, 12.5 acres of that will be paved space, up from the 5 paved acres now.
We want to engage. We want to hear everyone's comments. We just need them to want to engage with us.
Sounds like that would be great, just not in this location. Just to keep the parks for everyone, keep it green space, keep it free for all.
The sights and sounds of Joe Creason Park awaiting the decision that will decide its fate. At Joe Creason Park, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS 1119 on your side.
By the way, we want to let you know there is a developer-led meeting coming up on all this. It's going to be on May 6th at the nearby Cyril Allgaier Community Center. That's for residents to voice their concerns and to get even more answers to their questions about that proposed project at Joe Creason Park. Late breaking news tonight from the White House. President Donald Trump signing a new executive order tonight that could end or change the federal consent decree for Metro Louisville Police in 60 days. The president has asked his attorney general to review all ongoing federal consent decrees and post-judgment orders placed on local police departments in the country. Trump's directive says to modify or rescind those orders that impede the performance of police departments. Louisville's consent decree is still in the hands of a Trump-appointed federal judge here in Louisville, who has not made a final ruling yet. The mayor has said the city will continue to push police reforms with or without a federal order. Right now, live here on the WHAS 1119, we are right in the middle of a very warm spring evening, folks. It's still in the high 70s. Tomorrow going to be warm with storms moving in. Meteorologist Dan Russell is also looking ahead to Derby week racing. Big crowds on Thursday, Friday, and of course, Derby Saturday.
Thanks. It has certainly been just a beautiful summery day. Temperatures running well above average. In fact, even right now, compared to 24 hours ago, we have temperatures running about 15 degrees warmer. It is going to be a summery night. And you can see here on our latest satellite and radar composite, we have high pressure still in control. Of course, that gave us all the sunshine in the world today. Now we have clear skies for at least the start of tonight. But you can see not too far away, we are tracking some active weather. In fact, you can even see some of the tornado watches that we do have off to our north and west. And this is some of the active weather that's going to be settling south and east towards us, especially later tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Tonight, again, just a true summery night. Temperatures for many, look at this, not even falling out of the 70s here for an overnight low, and we'll hang on to a bit of a breeze here out of the south. And then notice tomorrow morning, still relatively quiet to kick off today. Temperatures are going to quickly climb back up through the 70s. And you can see here on our Futurecast, outside of maybe a spot sprinkle. Again, we're mainly dry during the first half of the day. It's tomorrow evening and into the first part of the overnight. Now we have more activity showing up here on the radar. Of course, I'll be tracking this in a lot more detail. And we also have the Big Oaks and Derby forecast coming up with the 70 forecast coming up in just a little bit.
You know, not everybody can go to a Taylor Swift concert. Not everybody can go to a Super Bowl. They're hard tickets to come by, and when they are, usually the pricing comes along with it. And that's pretty much the case with the Kentucky Derby these days.
As longtime Churchill Downs spokesperson Darren Rogers talking with us today about the continued rise in those prices for Kentucky Derby tickets, the cost going up again this year for Derby 151, leading to sticker shock for some. One U of L economics professor who actually focuses on the Kentucky Derby financial impact says it's worth about $420 million in dollars spent around our city. But Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton found some real hesitation over buying tickets for Derby 151.
We've seen Churchill Downs really lean into the amenities, raising costs, telling folks, here's what you're paying for. But some of the locals here, even folks traveling out of state, for them, they're having to make some serious adjustments. Whether Derby 151 will be your first.
2,000. for Saturday, 1,000 for Oaks, probably, easy.
Or one of dozens as part of a decades-long tradition.
I've been to 40 derbies.
Locals and tourists alike are feeling the pinch from Churchill Downs' rising prices, even up from last year's record Derby 150. We've been seeing locals sort of priced out for many years.
It's going to be us not if it keeps going up the way it is.
Churchill Downs CEO Bill Karstanjian said last week they've seen demand decline for lower cost tickets. U of L professor Thomas Lambert not surprised by that.
Because of all the uncertainty economically, you've got a lot of people worried about spending money.
In 2023 for Derby 149, an uncovered box in section 115 costed $4,200. Last year for Derby 150, that spiked to more than $7,000. Now this year, Derby 151, we're talking close to $7,300.
Because we can't afford it just the two of us.
Louisvillians Jane Broadwater Long and her husband Craig Long say the price of their Oaks and Derby box, now part of the clubhouse area, has spiked 30% in the last couple years. They've heard from friends too.
So our friends just said, you know, my job is shaky. He's retiring. We are not buying Derby tickets.
Lambert, specializing in economics and the equine industry, has seen attendance dip since 2015, when the racetrack hosted 170,000 people on Derby Day, the record.
It had been trending down, that higher income folks, some of them were thinking twice about coming here as well, but disposable personal income is the biggest driver.
Meanwhile, outside the Derby Museum, Tanisha Hooker traveled from Atlanta for her first Derby experience, telling us she chose Thurby instead. More affordable?
Exactly, for sure, for sure.
For a number of reasons, in an economically uncertain time.
Always on my mind, you know, times are tough, you know, it's not easy for a lot of people. So if I can have fun and, you know, be economical at the same time, that's a win.
And they're off. The Kentucky Derby Festival's 36th annual Great Bed Race got started tonight at Broadbent Arena, one of the funniest and really most unique traditions of Derby time. Companies and businesses go all out for their mattress cars. This year's theme was Happy Derby, Pink Out Party, and about 50 teams competed for the prize tonight at Broadbent Arena at the fairgrounds, including the Zoller Pump Company that went with a pink Cadillac retro theme.
It's about being part of something big in Louisville. I think everybody wants to be part of the Derby, and if this is one of those things that you can show off or have fun, and we are in the fun category, then this is where you want to be. Rain or shine, we're here.
And the winner is Texas Roadhouse, of course, the Louisville-based restaurant chain, winning the Champions Division for the second year in a row. Derby Week just getting started. WHAS 11 is going to be bringing it to you live early in the morning all week long. Our team from Good Morning Kentuckiana, they're from the backside of Churchill Downs all week. Join them from 5 to 7 a.m. here on WHAS 11.